All right, welcome back everyone. So it's been absolutely ages since I posted a video about my CNC machine here. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first is that it's been a while since I cut anything really new. I've been cutting a lot of the kind of standard parts that I've already made videos for in the past. And the other one is that I have moved. As you can see, I'm no longer in a garage. I've got a separate shop building. All for myself. That plastic behind the plastic there is going to be a paint booth. So I've got 1,000 square feet here, all for this sort of thing. So this is very exciting. A couple of things about this space, though. Number one is that it's got a wood floor, which is not ideal. I've done what I can. I'm not sure how well this is going to work in the long run, but I took a couple of pretty thick sheets of plywood, screwed them down to the floor. I just screwed the bejesus out of it, as you can see. I think I've got a grid screws every 5 inches or so, and that's under the whole thing. And this is just to keep it stable. Obviously, the concrete floor that I had in the old garage was better. You know, this is just make and do with what you got. You got to do that sometimes just to keep the ball rolling. I think that qualitatively, I think it is better. I noticed that when I was setting this thing up, I set it on the wood, the table. I set the table on the wood, and I put levels around it just to get a rough level. And I noticed that as I walked around, I could see the bubble on the level kind of wiggle a little bit. And after I screwed that thing down, it got a lot better. It was almost I can hop up and down next to the machine, and it doesn't seem to move at all. So that's very good. It's going to help with any kind of movement during cutting. So I thought that I would make a video here, kind of showing what I do to set the machine up, because I'm kind of starting from scratch here. One thing, as you can see, I've got the gantry. The gantry is off of its mounts there on the x-axis, and this is for during the move. I moved it off of there onto this piece of wood that I had mounted a couple handles to, and then it's screwed down here so the whole thing could sit on that. And I managed to get all of the electronics out, kind of just sloughed them all off without having to take anything apart, really. Just set everything. I had to take the cable tray off of its mounts there and there, but then the whole thing sat on top of this platform, and it made it really easy to move. So basically the machine moved in two pieces. One was that platform with all the electronics and the gantry on it, and then the other being the table itself. It took 4 people to move the table down here. We had to turn it sideways to get it through the door. It's a little bit too wide to fit in the door. So yeah, so I think I'll do another video or two here on how I set things up. Again, this is just, I can't really call myself an expert, but obviously setting up the machine so that all the axes are perpendicular to one another is super important. So I'm going to try to do a better job of that this time, with everything I've learned in my previous cutting. I may finally get rid of my little wood stops here and put in my limit switches. I've been a bad boy running all this time without my limit switches on. So might get around to that. Oh, you can see here's one of the x-axis motors. Just unbolted it from the carrier, from the bearing blocks there, and set it up here in the tray, and it made it super easy. Alright, so I think that's all for now. Check back. Thanks.